Shalom, shalom. Giving all honor and praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. We got a Battle Axes of the Most High coming to you on another Wednesday class to get edified in the Most High God's name. The name of the class is called Chastisement Yield Peaceable Fruit. You know, when you be reading a lot of time, kind of going through the precepts, man, certain things catch your eye, even things that you kind of see around you, things that's going on in the congregation, things that's going on in the day-to-day life, kind of make you kind of step back and look at these things, you know, just kind of through the spirit, man, of the Most High God, how you lead me this for the last week or so. Just kind of dealing things in our, you know, personal life and everything, you know, seeing the different chastisement that the Most High God put us through, and not to look at the chastisement, but to look at the things on the other side of the chastisement that the Most High God has for us. First precept, we're going into Psalm chapter 119 and verse 81. When you get there, I can read it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 81.
Mm-hmm.
My soul fainted for thy salvation.
He said his soul, this is King David saying his soul fainted for the Most High God's salvation, man. Read on.
But I hope in thy word.
He said, but I hope in thy word. This is how we're supposed to be thinking on a day-to-day basis. Thinking on how this world set up, the things that goes on in this world. Well, this is what we're supposed to be doing, is for the hope that the Most High God just any day to send his son back so we can be able to redeem out of this captivity, man. Read on.
Mine eyes fail for thy word.
Read that again.
Mine eyes fail for thy word.
Read.
Saying, when wilt thou comfort me?
Saying, when wilt thou comfort me? Because this is how we feeling when we go through these different chastisements. Going through these different things that the Most High God put us through. We like, when am I gonna get comfort, man? When can I feel some kind of comfort in the midst of this storm, man? This is how our mind always thinks, man. Think about how, you know, most time how we look at ourselves saying, ain't nobody else going, like you make yourself feel like you the only person going through what you're going through. You make yourself feel like, woe is me, like it's so many more people going through so much more stuff, more worse than you. You ain't the only person going through those things, man. But when you going through it, guess what? This is how we feel a lot of the time, man. This is part of the curses, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Just kind of going through a few little common precepts, man. But these precepts are strong because a lot of time when we look at how the Most High God set us up, everything that we going through to this day, Deuteronomy chapter 28, start at verse 15. Everything we going there through to this day is based on the curses. It's based on the curses. Guess what? Your job giving you hell, look, this is one of the curses. Your children give you hell, this is one of the curses. Guess what? You going in and out of jail, you get anything, goes anything. Guess what? You get a traffic ticket, anything, go on. It's part of the curses. This is what happens to us, man. Read that out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
But it shall come to pass,
read,
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
even in our captivity, knowing we in this truth, knowing that we in this truth, we are still, guess what, do what we want to do. When the Most High God said, hey, you in captivity, you better chill out. Children rebellious, wives rebellious, husbands rebellious, fathers rebellious, mothers rebellious, sons and daughters rebellious. What you think? Who you think the Most High God not watching? He's not having angels record. Everything's being recorded, man. Read on.
To observe, to do all his commandments, and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So this is a continued thing. This is a continued thing. All these curses come upon these things right here that we think in our mind when we going through stuff. By the time brothers and sisters really don't, they want to look for something deep explanation, just go back to the curses. You want to find out what's going on with you, your sons, your daughters, you want to find out what's going on with you, go to the curses. Because the Lord said, these curses, all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. Now, every curse is not hitting us every single day, because when we look at certain curses, guess what? It don't pertain to you. Certain curses the northern tribes gave when they was over here too. But watch this. Jump down to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
Man, because guess what? Esau come up in that mug, put you on the ground, put your children on the ground, put the daddy on the ground. Guess what? And he'll take your children, and what can you do about it? You just look and long for them all the day long. You can go cry all the day long, and you can't do nothing. If this ain't part of the curses, man, guess what, man? We must be living in a different world, man. Because this is literally happening to all of us, man. It ain't just happening to one of us. It's happening to all of us, man. Esau can come take everybody's children away. Guess what? Even got to the point, even just like we trust in oppression so much to the point, guess what? A husband and a wife, they get into it. Guess what? She'll call Esau. Yeah, come over and lock his ass up. Damn. So now you calling the slave master to come get your husband. Yeah, because guess what? You won't do what you feel like you want to do. It's not so, man. When we come back to Most High God's laws, man, guess what, man? Every man gonna be in order. Guess what? You ain't got to worry about calling no Esau, because Esau can't help you. Say we looking for a nation that cannot save thee. They cannot save you, because when the Most High God bring His wrath, guess what? You can't be saved. You can't be saved when the Most High God bring His wrath, man. Who gonna stop Him when He said His curses on you? Who gonna stop Him? Who gonna literally say, shoot, we ain't in no captivity mode no more. We gonna do what we feel like we want to do. No, you not. No, you not. Read on up.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Read on.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
He said you should be only oppressed and crushed always, man. Our spirits is crushed like a mug, man, all the time. Boy, that alarm clock go off, man. Boy, you be trying to smack that mug across the room for that mug to go off, man. You don't be want to hear none of that mess, man. You don't be want to hear that alarm clock, and you don't be want to, guess what, man? You don't care if the alarm clock is your phone, man. But I'm surprised everybody ain't got no crack phone, man, trying to stop that alarm from going off, man. Don't be want to hear it, man. That's a crushed spirit, man. Knowing that we got to get up and go work for our servants. Boy, that's tough, man. Going to work for our damn servants, man. That's the crushed ass feeling to have in this walk, man. Read on up.
So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
He said we're gonna be mad for the sight of our eyes. All the stuff that we seen, yeah, we mad as hell. Guess what? They kill another boy. What we gonna do? I guess you're gonna send Black Lives Matter over there to go march for them, huh? They ain't gonna do a damn thing. I don't think they gonna go get some more money from some of them from one of them 501c3 programs to go and help them out, give them some more money. Kill another nigga, guess what, man? Taking money to the bank. That's a real deal. That's a real deal. You kill another nigga, you gonna take that money straight to the bank. Guess what? Another nigga kill another nigga. Guess what? He say, we got us another slave on the plantation because he now can go work. I need you to go make these license plates. I need you to go to make the soles of these shoes. They can have people doing all kind of work in the penitentiary, man. They come out and can't use none of them skills because they ain't gonna hire no fella. That's so crazy. If you think that, boy, I'm telling you something. They have our minds and our spirits crushed, man. That's a crushed ass spirit, man. Let's go to Psalm chapter 50, verse 7. That's a crushed spirit. Thinking on how Esau got us. Thinking on how Esau got us, man. Because the thing is, you know, they can't do it unless the Most High God allow them. But you know, Esau gonna go all they're perfect evil. They gonna go all the way. They ain't gonna go part of the way. They gonna go all the way. Every way they can possibly go with you, they gonna go. I'm just thinking. You know, I don't care about putting being out there in the street. Okay, brother wanted to get an apartment. So you tell me I got to put 60-day notice in, and then if the people don't approve me for this other apartment, I can lose my apartment that I'm in. What the kind of stuff is that, man? So you taking the chance? I'm talking about, man, be on the streets. You don't know if, man, look here, man, if that ain't oppressed and crushed always, boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy, Esau gonna have to pay for you. I'm talking about, man, you gonna have to pay, man. Read that out.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 7. Hear it, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel.
He said, hear, O my, this is the Lord talking to the house of Israel, man. This is how that our minds, we think on a day-to-day basis, we think we can go and feel like we can do anything we want and it won't be no consequences. Guess what? People in their mind, really think you think you can be like, forget the consequences until the consequences starting to happen, until the reaction of the consequences hit you. But it's gonna read on though.
And I will testify against thee.
The Lord said He's gonna testify against the house of Israel. We are His own people. The Lord said He's gonna testify against us. Read on.
I am God, even thy God.
He been called Himself. I mean, that's what the Lord said. His name is I am. Man, read.
I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices.
He said He ain't gonna forgive us for our sacrifices. Read on.
Or thy burnt offering.
Read.
To have been continually before me.
Because that's what we did that continually before Him, man. So that's why right now, to this day, we don't do sacrifices, man. He sent His Son down because He said these sacrifices, I ain't finna reprove them for these sacrifices. It ain't doing no damn good. Y'all just come to keep on doing the same thing, man. Read on.
I will take no bullock. Out of thy house.
Read.
No he goats out of thy fold.
Read.
For every beast of the forest is mine.
The Lord said, I ain't got to take no sacrifice from y'all. All these beasts of the forest, that belongs to the Most High God, man. Read.
And the cattle upon 1,000 hills.
And He said, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills, man. All this belongs to the Lord. Read.
I know all the fowls of the mountain.
The Lord said, all the fowls of the mountain, I know them because He's the one that created them, man. Read.
And the wild beasts of the field are mine.
All these things belong to the Most High God. Read.
If I were hungry, I would not tell thee.
The Lord said if He was hungry, you think He gonna come down and tell one of us, hey, Capt. Benaniyah, hey, you know what? The Most High God said he the hungry. He hungry. No, He not gonna say a damn thing to us, man. The Lord said if I was hungry, you think I'm gonna tell y'all? Who the hell y'all think y'all is, man? You not on the level with the Most High, man. We got to start making sure that we lean into the Most High and not lean into our own understanding, man. The Lord said everything belonged to Him, man. Read.
For the world is mine.
For who? What is His?
For the world is mine.
He said the world is His, man. Read.
And the fullness thereof.
And He said and all the fullness thereof is His too, man. It ain't nowhere else around this, man. Everything that the Most High God said belongs to Him, it belongs to Him literally. Let's go to Deuteronomy 29:29. All these things literally belong to the Most High, and we got to make sure, we got to make our mind up. Hey, man, I ain't gonna just running my mouth. I don't run nothing. Yeah, and that's how we should always think. Because the Lord said He's gonna give the earth to the hands of the what? The meat. That's what He giving it to, the meat. He ain't giving it to us. This somebody think they running something. Oh yeah, in the kingdom. And I hear brothers say this like this all the time. Oh, in the kingdom, I want my land to be over here, and it's gonna be over here. Nigga, you don't know what you gonna get. Nigga, you allowed to be in the lake of fire. I think that's why some brothers be discarding the lake of fire, because they don't want to really see somebody sit. No, the Lord said it's gonna be abhorrent to all flesh. So it's gonna be abhorrent to all flesh. Yes, it's gonna be a lake of fire. Yes, it is, and it's gonna be terrible. And He wanted it to be terrible enough so we won't go back and do the same damn thing again because He tired. And guess what? Sometimes with Daddy get tired, guess what? Daddy start moving furniture in this mug. And I ain't talking about rearranging the living room. Read that out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong unto the Lord our God.
Because He said the secret things belong to the Lord our God. Like the Lord finna come down and tell us, hey, the world, the earth make weight this many pounds. But we don't know none of that, man. The weight of fire. We don't know none of that, man. These secret things, these belong to the Most High, man. Read on.
But those things which are revealed belong unto us. And to our children forever.
So these said, so the things that he revealed, guess what? Those things that belong to us, man. And guess what? All praise to the Most High, man. That the Most High God gave us things, man. And the little portion of things that he gave us is so much more than all the other nations, because we got his law, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
That we may do all the words of this law.
Because those are the things that the Lord revealed to us. The words of this law. This is something that we must be getting in our mind, thinking about, not in a puffed up spirit, but in the mind thinking about how the Lord is saying that we supposed to be. Because the Lord, guess what, man? The earth is his turf, man. And he gonna control, he gonna control, thus said the Lord. And anything like he said, he ain't gonna come down and tell us wicked ass Negro, yeah, hey man, hey Battle Axes, man, y'all send up another, y'all do a burnt offering over there, man, because I'm hungry. Lord, don't give a damn about what we think. Matter of fact, let's get another one. Psalms 89 and 11 right quick. Because I know we use that word world, and we be breaking that word world down in John chapter 3 and 16, but the word world is still the world of Israel, and it don't change. So guess what? The earth and the world is two different things. But the Lord still gonna tell you about the earth and the world too. So we can just clear that little part up on that one.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 11. The heavens are thine.
He said the heavens are thine. That means he said the heavens is his. Read.
The earth also is thine.
The earth also is the Most High God, man. Read on.
As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast founded them.
So good. This is what the Lord is saying, man. So we won't. Guess what? We want to make sure that brothers and sisters understand that the earth and world still is two different things. Because guess what? When we say God so loved the world, then guess what? Now we don't want things to get confused. No, the earth and the world too is still two different things. This is what the Most High God making sure that we all get a good understanding of that. Let's go to matter of fact, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 14. And we ain't brought that out in a while. I think Max B did a class over there. And I think I touched on it probably about a year or so. I don't know. Probably about 2 years ago. Ezekiel chapter 14. And this concerning Daniel, Noah, and Job. These was just men. These men walked, man, earnestly with the Most High God, man. These men had favor upon favor with the Most High God, man. Thinking about Noah diligent, how he was with the Most High God, man. He was obedient when everybody in the earth was like looking at this dude build a boat. Like, what the hell is this dude building? Yeah, he building a damn boat because it's finna rain like a mug. And everybody thought that he was a damn fool. Just like all our family think we a damn fool for doing this, man. Daniel, guess what, man? The Most High God favored Daniel so much, guess what? He wouldn't eat the king's food. He wasn't giving in to this world. And guess what? The Most High God favored Daniel so much to the point he wouldn't let them perish with the hands of the enemy, man.
Let's get some on Noah right quick.
Go ahead.
Give me Sirach chapter 44 and verse 17. Going into even how Ak is going into it with Noah. Like we say, the book of Sirach give accounts on how righteous Noah was. Like I said, this is the example that we all as brothers and sisters need to be looking to. Read this, Ak.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 44, verse 17. Noah was found perfect and righteous.
Read that again, Ak.
Noah was found perfect and righteous.
So meaning what? Noah was keeping the commandments, because we know what perfect is, we know what righteous is. Read on up.
In the time of wrath.
In the time of wrath, meaning what? During the time of the flood, read on.
He was taken in exchange for the world.
And he was taken in exchange for the world. The Most High God did what? Only saved those 8 people and killed everybody else in the flood. Read on.
Therefore was he left as a remnant unto the earth.
So he was left as a remnant, because the Most High God was dealing with Noah on a higher level than any other people. Read on up.
When the flood came, an everlasting covenant was made with him.
Read on now.
That all flesh should perish no more by the flood.
Now that's a high favor to have in standards with the Most High God. It said an everlasting covenant was made with him, that all flesh shall perish no more by the flood. So the Most High God is not going to kill us by flood. Next, now is going into those nuclear weapons. You know, so we want to make sure that we follow Noah's example on what he did, how he was diligent for the so many years that he was during this time. Go ahead, Doc.
And just like I said, and with Noah came what? And what covenant was that? Any brother, sister, any brother know?
The rainbow?
The rainbow. That's the reason why we got the rainbow. The Most High God said he wasn't going to kill us by flood anymore. That was the flood. That was the thing that the Most High gave us to show us or give us a sign. The rainbow. Let's go back to Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 13.
It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously.
He said, son of man, when the land sinneth against me, the land, guess what? The land is Israel, man. Israel was a people before it was Israel was a nation before it was a land. Read on.
Then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof.
Read.
And will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it.
So now the Lord said, if I send a plague through there, he said, if I break the staff, he said, I cut off bread, I'll send a famine upon it, I'll cut off man and beast. He putting this thing in the land, right? Read on.
Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it.
He said, though these people, Noah, Daniel, and Job was in it, read.
They shall deliver but their own souls, by their righteousness, said the Lord God.
He said, and guess what? The only thing they can do is deliver their own soul. We can tell the people all day long what we trying to do. Guess what? To keep the law, statutes, commandments. Guess what? Just like a father try to tell a son, or a mother try to tell a daughter. Guess what? Or the bruise try to trying to edify, or the sister trying to tell the sister the righteous way of doing. We trying to tell the children. Guess what? You only can save your own soul through righteousness, man. Read on.
If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it,
and they kill everything on there, read.
So that it be desolate, that no man may pass through.
Read.
Because of the beast.
Because of the beast. Read on.
Though these three men were in it, as I live, said the Lord God. They shall deliver neither sons nor daughters.
Read.
They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate.
So he said, so the Lord said, and this is how the Lord worked. He telling us how he worked. If I send a beast come through there and he start killing every person through there, guess what? Though Noah, Daniel, and Job was in their land, they can't save neither son nor daughter. We can't save our children. We can't. We only can give them thus said the Lord. If they not doing thus said the Lord, they gonna fall into condemnation. How the Lord, hey, it is what it is. Hey, with something, guess what? This is what the Lord telling us, but guess what? We got to take it how the Lord saying, how we got to take it. So, hey, our God is a just God, and if you say anything different, then guess what? You can fall into the same condemnation too. Read on.
Or if I bring a sword upon that land.
He said, but so Lord, the Lord said, if I bring a sword upon that land, read.
And say, sword, go through the land, so that I cut off man and beast.
So the Lord said, if I bring a sword to the land and cut off man and beast, read.
Though these three men were in it.
This is Noah, Daniel, and Job. Though if Noah, Daniel, and Job was in this land, read.
As I live, said the Lord God.
Read.
They shall deliver neither sons nor daughters.
They can't save neither sons nor daughters. Read.
But they only shall be delivered themselves.
But themselves is the only thing you can be delivered. They can't deliver the sons and daughters. They got to do what they supposed to do, just like Job. If Job was perfect with the Most High, guess what he did? He taught his wife. He was teaching the children. Guess what? The children did what they wanted to do. He tried to atone for them, but guess what? The Most High God said, "No, I'm finna kill their ass." Guess what? The wife, she went in there, she went all the way off trying to tell him to go on ahead to curse God too. But it's crazy as hell. But guess what? People do that. They'll tell you to go against your God for what? To die? What you gonna go against your God for? Yeah, he'll send this noisome beast through the field, or send a sword through there. and you can't stop it. Can't none of us stop it. That sword is just gonna come. If you send that sword through the field, can't none of us stop it. What we gonna do? Because even the children, they got to be held accountable too. And a lot of times we thinking that they don't, but they do. And this like I say, this precept, I know we done brought this out before. Go to Proverbs 20 and 11. Because no matter how it goes or how we feel about our children, guess what, man? Guess what? You think all these people that raise their children and their children grow up to be a straight up killer, you think all the killers just had a single parent home? You think little Johnny came into this world, he just had a single parent? Little Johnny probably had the best life that you could possibly have, man. Butlers, maids, all kind of stuff. And guess what? But little Johnny wants more than that. Little Johnny wants bodies. He wants souls, man. Read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 11. Even a child is known by his doings.
He said, even a child is known by his doings. So if that child, guess what? If that child is hey, you got to call it what it is. Because some of these children, guess what? These children don't understand. They better be glad they up under grace. Just like the mother and father up under grace, guess what? These children better be glad they was under grace. Because if a little child was messing up, guess what the church would do? We'll take the little child to the back, and everybody in here, not just the parents, everybody in here would stone that child to death. Everybody here would stone that child to death. They better be glad we up under grace, man. Just like us as adults, because guess what? We do things on a day-to-day, and we better be glad we up under grace.
Matter of fact, let's get to the account. Give me Deuteronomy 21 and 18 real quick. Because that's very important, because like we said, we're here to train up the next generation to, guess what? Continue in our footsteps with what? Pushing this truth, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Setting our nation back in order. Deuteronomy 21 and verse 18. When you get there, read that out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
just like how Ak was going into a stubborn or rebellious son or daughter,
which will not obey the voice of his father.
Which will not obey the voice of his father, because that's basically going back to what? The commandments. Because your father's what? Instructed to what? Teach you the commandments. You know to keep the commandments. Read on.
Or the voice of his mother.
Or the voice of his mother, because, hey, mothers have power up in the house too. It's man, woman, then the children. Read on.
And that when they have chastened him.
And they have chastened him, meaning what? Gave correction. Beat them on the sides. Read on.
Will not hearken unto them.
And they still don't want to hearken. Read on.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him.
Then now, guess what? They laying hold on him again. Read on.
And bring him out unto the elders of his city.
Now they laying hold on and bringing it to what? The elders of the city. Read on.
And unto the gate of his place.
Read on now.
And they shall say unto the elders of his city.
Read on.
This our son is stubborn and rebellious.
Don't want to listen. Don't want to follow the commandments. Read on.
He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton.
Eating up everything in the house. Read on.
And a drunkard.
And a drunkard. Read on.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
Read that again up.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones. But it's going to give you the reason why. Read on.
That he died.
That he what?
That he died.
Read on up.
So shalt thou put evil away from among you.
Because you're doing that to do what? Put evil away from among us. Because a lot of times evil is like cancer. It does what? It spreads. So a lot of times, that's why the Most High God had to do what he had to do in punishing us the way that he did. Because he knew that certain evils is going to spread. You see that thing goes from one thing, goes to another, goes from here, goes to there. Next thing you know, everybody in that type of spirit. Go ahead, Doc.
Like I say, and that's how it go. Cause you know the old saying, one bad apple scoop spoiled a bunch. Yeah, you can't spoil the whole bunch. That's why I said you have to put away evil. Because a lot of times, that's why we went to, man, I know I went into the spirits that jump. Because these things this is a real thing, man. This is something, it ain't something somebody made up. This Bible literally speaks about these things.
That's right.
But like you say, this is talking about a child that's being taught the Bible, being brought forward, like right now. you got our children that we are our children that's in the truth. We bringing them to class. We making them listen to the teachers. We showing them the word. Guess what? We chastening them when we supposed to chasten them, and we still they don't want to listen. But guess what? But it's the Most High God's turn. Guess what? You just got to get back out the way. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
And guess what? He said we supposed to be teaching this word diligent to our children, man. That's why it's all praise to the Most High. Their brothers and sisters, they can bring their children to class so they can learn. Guess what? You might not think this little junior, 4 or 5 years old. Guess what? Like, might not think that he be listening. I just look at my boys and look at our boys, man. Little boys in the truth, man. Growing, becoming men, growing up to become the next teachers and the next readers and the next people that's up here teaching the class, man. That's all praise to the Most High for this, man. When you guess what? That's a man and that's a husband and a wife directing their child in the way it's supposed to be going, man.
And we got to remember what Isaiah 55 and 11, the word of the Lord don't go out void. So even like how we telling brothers out there on the streets, even in here, like we say, it may not, but it's seeping in through that spirit, whether they want it or not, man. It's gonna go and do what the Most High God commanded the word to do.
Cause just like you could be asking little junior, hey man, who Esau? He'll point at him. Like, yeah, he learning something. So guess what? You ask a person that ain't don't know nothing about the truth who is Esau. Shoot, they go get their cousin. Oh, my cousin ain't Esau. They don't know no better. Say, well, where you at? He said, well, you ask little junior, man, what tribe you from? I'm from tribe of Judah, little bitty boy. I said, okay, you learning something. They learning. Don't think that they ain't learning, but like you said, the Most High God word don't never go out void, man. Let's go to Hebrews, man, chapter 12. Most High God word never go out void, man. We just got to make sure that we stay ourselves diligent with the Lord, because, hey, we do got that type of God that's not going to play, though. We do got that type of God that's not going to play, but we do got that God that's long-suffering with us, because if he wasn't long-suffering, he would put our wicked asses away long time ago, man. And if we know, if anybody read this Bible, if any brother and sister read that Bible, you should know damn well we deserve to get our asses put away, man. The Lord choose another nation. We deserve it, man. But man, we straight up, but the Lord loved us so much, man. Yahushua loved us so much, man. All the prophets in the Bible loved us so much, man. To the point, man, the Most High God said, you know what? I'll go on here and I'll keep what I got. Man, that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. Read that Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us.
He said we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, man. And this goes into the same thing about how we were just going into how talking about them spirits, man. Said we done have teaching our children. And guess what? And this Bible that's correcting us. Read on now.
And we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
He said, so should we just rather, shouldn't we just go and be into the, walking in the spirit instead of walking carnally, man? We already know how our God works. He ain't gonna, we want the Lord to bend a little bit. Well, Lord, just bend a little bit. Everybody forgive their damn self, though. You'll do anything, forgive yourself, man. The Lord is sitting up there like, this nigga just forgave himself. I'm finna get it. Hey, what y'all got for me today, man? This nigga right here forgave himself. Read verse 9 again, man.
Verse 9 from the top. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh.
We had fathers of our flesh, man. Read.
Which corrected us.
Which corrected us, man. Read.
And we gave them reverence.
Uh-huh.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits live.
And live. So if we was up on the suggestion of the Father, guess what? When He chastised and whip your butt, won't you just be up on the suggestion of the one that's gonna raise that son up and put it back down, man? Read on now.
For they barely for a few days chastised us after their own pleasure.
He said, for they varied for a few days, chastised us. That means going into chastising us through the flesh. They picked up, hey, you know how you did say, did pick up, you know, back in the day, did pick up anything go upside your head, man. It could be all over you. Auntie, uncle, all over your ass, man. He like, you be sitting up in the room like, man, I know it's got to be against the law somewhere for this nigga to be whooping me with this extension cord, man. Damn. We sitting there mad in the mug. Be there swinging like old boy off of Boys in the Hood, crying. Get yourself in order. Boy, you talking back in there and I ain't saying nothing? Shit, I bet you ain't. Shut your mouth. Read on.
But He for our profit, that we might be partakers of His holiness.
Read.
Now no chastity for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous.
He said, but now no chastity seem to be joyous. So when we seem like we getting away with some stuff, we doing it big. Yeah, you thinking you get away with it. The Lord see, so now no chastity, you think now we full of joy because we ain't getting the chastity, huh? Yeah, we full of joy. What you think is gonna happen, man, at the end of this, us not getting no chastity? You think the Most High God pleased with this, man? He said, look at, he said obedience is better than sacrifice. He said, he told us, I don't want the bull, I don't want the goats, I don't want those things no more from y'all. I want y'all obedience. Read verse 11 again.
Verse 11 from the top. Now no chastity for the present seeming to be joyous.
He said no chastity for the present seem to be joyous to us right now, man. Boy, that's tough, man. If this ain't how our people think, man, well, we got to be out of our mind, man. Matter of fact, hold this. Go to Proverbs chapter 23 right quick. Verse 12. Start at verse 12.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 12. Applying thine heart unto instruction,
Read.
and thine ears to the words of knowledge.
And so it's talking about instruction in the word of knowledge. Read verse 13.
Withhold not correction from the child.
Read.
For if thou beatest him with a rod, he shall not die.
Boy, but you think in your mind like, dang, man, I just know it's got to be against the law. This woman beat the hell out of me, yeah. The Bible said if you beat him, guess what he told? But guess what? It tells us how to beat us. So Rock chapter 30 tells us how to whoop them. If you beat them, they ain't gonna die. They ain't gonna die if you beat them. Look here. You ain't gonna die. Hey, if the scriptures say that, then guess what? We got to believe what the scriptures say. Because, hey, it is what it is. Read on.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
And this is why we do that thing, because we trying to deliver our children from hell, man. From damnation, man. This is what we trying to deliver our children from, man. We literally trying to keep our children from these things, man. But you know our children, man, shoot, they be what's they call TikTok University on that mug, boy. They be all wild on there, man. Let's go to Job chapter 12 right quick. There's more on there. They be TikTok, boy, I'm talking about, man. TikTok so wild, man, you allowed to see anything. You allowed to see anything. Boy, these people want to get paid so bad, man. People want to be famous so bad, man. I can give a damn. I don't know how brothers and sisters feel. I can give a damn about how famous somebody can be, man. I just think I don't understand. Some of us we relish in those things, man. Read that out.
12:1.
You started verse 1.
This is the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 1. And Job answered and said, no doubt, but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you.
He said, no doubt. That's what it said. It ain't. I guess Esau talk like that, huh? No doubt. No doubt. Say, you coming through? Oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
Read verse 2 again.
Verse 2 from the top. No doubt, but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you.
He said, ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. Read.
But I have understanding, as well as you.
So, but Job said, I got understanding as well as you. So, guess what? You know the law, statute, and the commandment just like I know them, man. Read.
I am not inferior to you. Yea, who know it not such things as these.
Read.
I am as one mocked of his neighbor.
So Job said he is one mocked of his neighbor. Read.
Who calleth upon God. And he answered him. The just upright man is laughed to scorn.
He said the just upright man is laughed to scorn. Guess what, man? A lot of times people see us doing this work, doing this, and guess what? Even dealing with your children on a day-to-day basis. Guess what? We laugh to scorn, man. We laugh to scorn in this walk because a lot of times they don't believe it. They don't believe it. Guess what? Esau don't believe chastening of your children. Esau don't believe it. Guess what, man? That's why I try to tell my boys, I be trying to let them grow up to be men, but don't make me. Don't make me. Don't make me. Read.
He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp, despised in the thought of him that is at ease.
Read that again, now.
Verse 5 from the top. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp, despised in the thought of...
That's tough, man. Read that one more time, man.
He that is ready to slip with his feet.
He said, he that is ready to slip with his feet, man,
is as a lamp despised.
He says a lamp despised. Read.
And the thought of him that is at ease.
And the thought of him that is ease, man. Just think about how the person that's ready to slip, man, look. Being tempted, man, look here. That nigga do that shit one more time. You know how we talk. Guess what? Man, I'm gonna do this. Forget the consequences. Man, the Most High said, he that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised. Who gonna despise a lamp, especially when it's dark? You gonna despise a lamp when it's dark? Boy, I'm telling you, man. The prophets of the Bible be putting the words together perfectly, man. Read on.
The tabernacles of robbers prosper.
So when you ready to slip, guess what? You're going to be like a lamp despised. The tabernacles of the robbers prosper. How they prosper? Because there ain't no light to shine and see what's going on. There's no light there to see what's going on. Guess what? You can be easily, caught up in that ramification and get tossed. We got to always think, man. Look, the scripture set up perfectly, man. Read on.
And they that provoke God are secure. And to whose hand God bringeth abundance.
He said, to whose hand God bringeth abundance. This is talking about the robber, man. Guess what, man? You don't want the robber come in stealing everything you got, man. We don't want these things, man. But guess what? When we trying to raise our children up, guess what, man? And they not doing what they supposed to do, guess what? Some of our children ready to slip. Some of us, guess what? In this walk, we ready to slip too. Thinking that we can go up on our own accord to do certain things, and guess what, man? We done. Boy, sometimes, boy, when we, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. We literally tell brothers, look, this right here gonna go on, and brothers and sisters do not believe it. Oh, I ain't doing nothing by doing this, and guess what happened? Next thing you know, you don't see these people no more. They don't be over here no more. And then guess what? You be thinking that they be with brothers, but then you talk to them on the phone. And then you talk to them on the phone, these people be bugged all the way out, all the way out. Like, dang, I thought you was going over there to grow. And then brothers ain't growing nothing. Brothers is bugged out. They dang on mine, man. I'm talking about, man, having conversations. I'm like, this ain't the same person that I used to know you, brother. It's like this, you getting weirder and weirder every time I say something to you. Brothers be getting bugged out, man. Sisters do too. Be bugged out. You can see it. Guess what? You'll see some of them on Facebook battling. You better leave them alone, man. But them people right there, the most I got them, it's like, hey, they like a bug in a rug. They all snug until the vacuum cleaner come and swoop them back up. Go ahead, Doc. Verse 7.
But ask now the beast.
He said, but ask the beast, man. Read.
And they shall teach you.
And they shall teach you, because the beast said, hey, I don't know what you think about it. It's the Most High God, man. Don't play with him. He said, ask the beast, they'll teach you, man. Read.
And the fowls of the air. And they shall tell thee.
Read.
Or speak to the earth.
Read.
And it shall teach thee. And the fishes of the sea.
Read.
Shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all things, all these things, all these.
Start it back over and take your time.
Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord had wrought this.
So, because he said, who knoweth not the hand of the Lord had wrought all this? Because guess what? The earth ain't gonna move out of order. The fowls of the earth ain't gonna move out of order. The beasts of the field, the fish, none of these things gonna move out of order. It's just us. We the ones that moves out of order. He said, ask this, all the things I created, ask this. If you don't believe what I'm saying, go talk to the earth then. You crazy, go take your crazy ass over there and talk to the earth. Take your crazy ass over there and talk to the fish. You know how some people are gonna sit out there all day long. Go out there and talk to the damn fish. You don't believe the Most High God. Read.
And whose hand is the soul of every living thing.
It said, whose hand is the soul of every living thing, man. Read.
And the breath of all mankind.
And he's the breath of all mankind. That's given to the Most High, telling you, I am the one to control all things, man. You thinking that you can slip with the Most High God? Even, this is like you say, going into the chastisement of the children, going into fathers and mothers, going into us trying to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. It's a... We got to stay on point because the Most High God ain't really about these games, man. You know, we do. We play with the Most High God. Oh, he ain't going to do nothing, you know. Shit, I continue to keep on going. I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying? I remember Brew. I'm talking about Brew to be crazy, man. I used to be around Brew, man. I used to be scared of him. He was scared of me, too, but I was scared of his ass, too. But I was scared of him concerning the Most High God. He was scared of me because what I would do in the streets. And I was fresh and true. I was like, man, bro, we can't eat them children. They got pork in. He said, man, shit, get them, give them to me. Go eat them anyway, boy. I said, dang, this man tough like a mug. I couldn't believe it, but hey, I was scared of that. But he was looking at me in the streets. He was like, this goddamn Arkansas boy, he a little wild. And I thought he was, yeah. I was a little wild. So the Most High God showed me, just like he showed all the rest of these people, that he wasn't no game. He still continues showing me, man. I just ask the Lord, please don't take the Holy Spirit from me, man.
Let me give precept real quick. Give me Proverbs 22 and 15. Let me get Proverbs 22 and 15. Because even like how Ak is going into, even with the children, it translates even to, I could say, the adults too, where it really trickles down.
Yeah.
But we know, read this right quick, Ak.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
So foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, even in some adults. You know, like it says, it's talking on double fold. Yeah, exactly, multiple folds. Because we know that, guess what? We are the children of the Most High God. So we, even in our adult states, we're still considered His child. Read that again, Ak.
Verse 15 from the top. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. But the rod of correction shall drive it.
Now read on.
Shall drive it far from him.
Now we know foolishness. We grow up, you see the little juniors, they do foolish things. We know that because guess what? We have done foolish things. But guess what? The rod of correction, meaning the scriptures, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments, that when you're teaching those things properly, that should drive those things far away from the church. Even far away from, guess what? Adults. Read that again from the top out.
Verse 15 from
Did you
the
want
top.
some on that?
Let me go ahead. I'll finish it, but
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. But the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Go ahead, Ak.
become. Let's go back to Hebrews chapter 12. Gotta get some more down on Hebrews, man. Hebrews chapter 12, heavy, man. Thinking on how we supposed to always, because into this, man, like I say, in our chastisement, this is when the Most High God is at His best, giving us the best that He can give us, man. Because guess what? When Mama tell you not to go outside, she tell you not to do something, and you not listening. Guess what? Her beating your butt. Guess what? That's the best thing to help you out, to teach you, that to let you know really that you shouldn't go outside, man. Read that 12 in verse 11.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 11. Now no chastisement for the present seemeth to be joyous.
He said, so now no chastisement of the present seem to be joyous, man. Read.
But grievous.
But grievous, man. Read.
Nevertheless, after it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
So guess what? And now this is going into the peaceable fruit of righteousness, man. And he said, which is yielded to them is thereby, man. When you going through the chastisement, you taking your chest. Guess what, man? You can get those peaceable fruit because now it give you a peace of mind. Okay, I see why she told me don't do it. I get it. I get it. That's what the Lord. Guess what? Sometimes you got to also have enough spirit to see when it happens to somebody else. I ain't finna do it. We got to have that spirit too, because sometimes we don't have that spirit. Sometimes we'll just do it anyway. Well, dang, I gave you an example, which will tell you not to do it, and you did it in a damn way. Okay, then she was gonna feed you my joy. Go ahead.
Wherefore, lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees.
He said, well, lift up the hand which hang down and feeble knees, man. Your strength, read.
And make straight paths for your feet.
And make a straight path for your feet, read.
Lest that which is lame be turned out of the way. But let it rather be healed.
Because this is what we trying to do. We want to lay them paths over, because guess what? We want it rather to be healed, man. When we going through our chastening, we always want to be what? We want to be healed from that thing. We don't want to, guess what? We hate to go through it, but guess what? If you're, now I don't know how brothers and sisters how they been, how y'all grew up, but guess what? When mama chastise you or daddy chastise you, and then mama come in there and put that alcohol on you, man, kind of wipe you up, and you know what I'm saying, kind of get them scars and stuff right on your back and on your arm and stuff. Guess what? It's all right. It's all right. Guess what? She come in and talk to you. She want to nourish you a little bit. You know, they don't give a damn. You go over there, you just got your ass tore up. But you know, mama come over there and nurse you, try to nourish you back to health and stuff like that. Guess what? That feels pretty good, man. It's gonna, like I say, it'll be all right, man. It's gonna be all right. Guess what? Even your big brother, man, he in there. You know, you might not have that mother. You know what I'm saying? You might not have that mother, father love, and then you might have big brother in there, man. You got your butt whoop. You little big brother, like, man, it's all right, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, back in the day, you were wicked as hell. You probably go ahead and throw you a blunt or something. Go on, smoke that, man. You be all right. You got tore up, though. That's wicked as hell. But, you know, the point is the nourishing part. Yeah, I ain't trying to get into the wicked part, because I'm not condoning nobody to be in here doing no smoking. Guess what? If you do, we're going to go to the scriptures on your ass. Just know that. Just know that. Read on.
Follow peace with all men.
It said, follow peace with all men. What is this going into, man? That's the Romans chapter 12, man. Matter of fact, we'll get it right quick. See, like, Romans chapter 12, verse 18.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible.
It said, if it be possible, man. Read.
As much as lieth in you. Live peaceably with all men.
It said, live peaceably with all men. Read.
Dearly beloved. Avenge not yourself.
It said, avenge not yourself. Read.
But rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Because
it's the same thing the Lord said the whole time. Exodus 14, Deuteronomy 32, 35. He's just been telling us, he said, I'm going to repay these things for you. Don't worry about it, man. Read on.
Therefore, if thine enemy hungry, feed him.
He said, thank you. He said, if thine enemy hungry, feed him. Read.
If he thirst, give him drink.
Read.
For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head.
So, it's telling you, hey, just hold your peace. Keep doing what you're doing. Do the right thing. You're going to heap coals of fire on his head, because when the Most High God step in, he going to step in. You just got to back out the way, and so you don't get that wrath put on your butt. Let's go back to Hebrews chapter 12.
Yeah, I know we always got to clear, remember what? 2 sets of enemies in the Bible. It's talking about the enemies of our own people. No, we got to constantly reiterate that. This ain't going into Christianity where it's going into the other nations beating the hell out of us and we forgiving them for what they did. No. This is going into stopping a lot of what? Black on black crime, stopping a lot of Hispanic on Hispanic crime for a brother stepping on your Jordans. You know, forgive that brother. It's not talking about forgive the other nations. But like Ak is going into, we want to live peaceably with all nations. We got to give place to the Most High God for when his wrath comes. Because I know it's a lot of things that we see out here, these police shootings. I know it, boy, it flexes your spirit, but hey, we got to wait on the Lord, man. When he come with his wrath, that's going to be the real wrath.
Yeah, you say you be want to, boy. You be looking at that, boy.
It flex your spirit, man.
You got to hold your hand back. You been throw the remote control through the TV or something, man. You got to hold it back.
Flex your spirit.
To hold it back, man. It'll be alright. You be back in Walmart trying to take that mug back, man. I don't know. We had an earthquake. I think it cracked my TV. Like, dang, we had an earthquake. Wow, man. But for real, do vex your spirit, man. It does, man.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 14.
Verse 14, read on.
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Let's go get some of that. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3. See what this talking about. 1 John chapter 3 in verse 2.
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
So guess what? It's you know, in verse 14, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14, he said, without which no man shall see the Lord. But in 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2, read that again.
Verse 2 from the top. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doeth not yet appear.
Anybody do it not yet appear, read.
What we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
Read.
For we shall see him as he is.
So guess what? We shall see him as he is. Read.
And every man that had this hope in him purified himself.
And he said, and every man had this hope, purified himself. Read.
Even as he is pure.
Even as he is pure, man. Let's go get some more of what they're talking about, man. Let's go to what's that? John chapter 14 and verse 8. See what they're talking about, man. Because we do know what? No man can see the Most High and what? And live.
It's the book of John, chapter 14, verse 8. Philip said unto him, Lord, shew us the Father. And it
suffices us.
Sufficed him.
So Philip asked Christ, man, show us the Father, man. It suffices us, man. Because you know us, Israel, we all want to see something. Show us the Father, man. It suffices us. Read.
Yahweh said unto him,
read.
Have I been so long with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip?
He said, has he been so long with him, and has he not known Philip? Read.
He that has seen me has seen the Father.
So Christ basically saying, I look like my daddy, man. Read on.
And how sayest thou then, shew us the Father?
So how you saying? So how you saying? Show us the Father, man. Another precept, Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15. These right here y'all should have these precepts lined up after lined up, man. In y'all Bible.
Book of Colossians chapter 1, verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God?
He said, who is the image of the invisible God? Read.
The firstborn of every creature.
So guess what, man? Guess what? He invisible to us because we can't see him. Because if we see him, guess what? It's going to be definitely in spirit. Not in no dang on flesh. You ain't going to be able to see him. Read verse 15 again.
Verse 15 from the top. Who is the image of the invisible God?
Read.
The firstborn of every creature.
He is the image of the invisible God, firstborn of every creature, man. Read.
For by him were all things created.
No, that's all I want to know. Let's go back to Hebrews chapter 12. I need verse 15 out of there.
It's the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God.
He said, looking diligent. This is something that we need to be doing in the everyday. Looking diligent, least we fell from the grace of God, man. Read.
Lest any root of bitterness spring it up trouble you. And thereby many be defiled.
Read verse 15 again.
Verse 15 from the top. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God.
Because guess what? We hope and pray, brothers and sisters, don't fall from the grace of the Most High God. But hey, sometimes we do get caught up in ourselves, man.
And the affairs of the world.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's what it's all fall into. The affairs of the dang on world. Read on.
Lest any root of bitterness spring it up trouble you.
So that's why you got the 4 different Israelites, man. Read on.
And thereby many be defiled.
And many be defiled. Let's go to James chapter 4.
Because what does a root do? it continues to grow. It grows on the ground. That's for what it keep on bringing forth badness, man. That's why I say a root spring up bitterness, man. Let it keep going. That's what it does. We done seen a lot of brothers, man, with that root that sprung up in them, man, of the world. And it done troubled them now. Now they are defiled. They do what they do.
Mm-hmm. And that show how they roll, man. Because guess what all of that be? That's a lust thing. That's a lust thing. That's going into a corner. Or that's not spiritual, it's going into corner. James chapter 4 and verse 4.
It's the book of James chapter 4 verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
So the Most High God said this, the friendship of the world. So when you want to be as the world, that's enmity with the Most High God, man. That's not trying to find favor with the Most High. Read.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world
Mm-hmm.
is the enemy of God.
He said, so whosoever shall be the friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High God. Man, I'm going to tell you something. And in all our walk, guess what, man? Just like we make music, we ain't looking for no dang fans. If the music will help people to grow, to come over to gather with the people, let's go gather with the people. If the words don't, guess what? We use multiple platforms to get people to see the Most High God. It ain't about nobody in this walk. Let's go. That's the walk is about the Most High God. What are we in this walk for? And we don't really reverence those things, man. Read on, Doc.
Do ye think that the scripture said in vain? The spirit that dwelleth in us lusted to envy.
He said the spirit that dwelleth in us lusted to envy. Read.
But he giveth more grace.
but the Most High God just want to give it more grace. Guess what? Some people grace, boy, be measured, boy. Sometimes people grace be. Some people had that grace on them, man. Some people ain't. Some people grace be small as hell too. You don't know what kind of dealing they doing with the Most High. Read on.
Wherefore he said, God resisted the proud.
So God resisted the proud, though. Read on.
But give it grace unto the humble.
But He give grace unto the ones that's humble, man. That's what the earth is gonna be giving into the hands of the meek, to the ones that's humble, the ones that will be keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on.
Submit yourselves, therefore.
He said, submit yourselves, therefore. Read.
To God. Resist the devil.
He said, resist the devil. Read.
And he will flee.
And he gonna flee from us, man. This is how our God expecting us to work, and this is how we supposed to be always thinking, man. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10. This is how we supposed to be thinking at all times. Resisting. We all supposed to be steadfast in our walk. We supposed to be getting ourselves together, ready for the kingdom, man. Jump up to verse 9.
Book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 9. Wherefore we labor, that whether present or absent,
read.
we may be accepted of him.
Because this is what we labor for. We do this. We keep God's law, statutes, and commandment to be accepted of Him. That's the same thing He been telling us from the beginning. Even when just like He was telling Cain, is if you do well, you'll be accepted, man. This is what He wanted us to do, man. Find the acceptance out of Him, and not the acceptance out of the other nations, man. Read.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ.
Read. That
everyone may receive the things done in his body.
Because guess what? He said everyone is gonna receive the things that's done in his body. Guess what? If a brother had the whoremonger spirit on him, and the brother ain't repented, brother ain't guess what? Sister ain't repented. Guess what? You gonna receive all those things, man. You gonna receive them things, man. And you ain't trying to hate everything. You smoking weed. You doing all these abominable things, and you think you're not gonna receive nothing. But you gonna have to. Guess what? You just not gonna walk past Christ when the judgment day comes. You just not finna walk past Christ. You not finna do that. If you gonna walk past Christ, guess what? He gonna be watching you walk straight to the lake of fire. Well, I guess this nigga don't want to know his judgment. Here you go.
That's the only way you walk past.
That's it. You gonna be walking straight to the lake of fire. Oh. I thought this nigga thought he was gonna get to the kingdom. Lord, didn't I prophesy in your name? Yeah, you did. I never knew you though. You gonna be walking away. All thing you gonna be here. I never knew you. And be echoing like a mug. You gonna be going in that pit, man. Read on.
according to that he had done, whether it be good or bad.
And he said, whether it be good or bad, guess what? We're gonna receive those things, man. This is something, man, the Lord saying that, hey, we're gonna take it how it is. Romans chapter 14, verse 12. Take it how it is. The Lord said it's gonna come, it's gonna come. And guess what? And it's gonna be eternal fire. It ain't gonna be that daylight come and I'm ready to go home. No, it's gonna be the eternal fire on your butt.
It's the book of Romans chapter 14, verse 12. So then every one of us shall give account of himself to God.
Because every one of us gonna give account of ourselves. This is how the Most High God gonna judge us by our works, man. When the books be laid open, everybody gonna get account to their works. All the works that you do, you're gonna be held accountable to these things. All these precepts line up. Even when you go to Matthew 12 and 36, go to saying the same thing. It's even going not just in our actions, but guess what else? Just these precepts, brothers and sisters, should be having highlighted in their Bible. Matthew 12 and 36. Just like when mama, you try to tell mama, you try to tell auntie, sister, brother, hey, you should be eating that pork. I've been eating pork all my life. I'm gonna eat from the root to the tooth, and you're gonna have to pay for what you just said. You can't just say these things and the Lord, law, statute, and commandments say something and you think you're not gonna pay for them. You're gonna pay for them things, man. When you get there, I'll read it. Come on, Huck, stay with me. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36.
The book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Because,
man, I'm telling you, you try to tell mama and them something, and they act like they're not listening, thus said the Lord, guess what? Hey, they're gonna be held accountable for this thing, man. Read on.
For by thy words thou shalt be justified.
For by your words you're gonna be justified, read.
And by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Because one and the same, man. One and the same. Guess what? That's what the Lord said. Who gonna rise up for me? Guess what? That's in words and in deed. That's just not in one thing. That's in words and in deed. Thinking we not gonna, hey, the Most High God said he got a trick for those things, man. We hope that we be in the right mind state because, like you say, when Christ hit the scene, safer is your mind ain't right when Christ hit the scene. What you think gonna happen? Guess what? You better clear your thoughts because guess what? He can read your thoughts and everything. Sirach chapter 14 and verse 20. He can read your thoughts and everything. You can sit there and try to play with Christ as if he ain't. Man, the Most High God gave him dominion and power over everything, man. When he's talking about the Most High God, what we were reading earlier, that the Most High God said he know all the secret things. Guess what? You can't think of nothing in your mind that he don't know that you saying. What you think, you gonna outthink the Most High? You think you got more words to say than the Most High?
Or more clever than him?
For real, man. You think he ain't got these angels up them angels 10 times smarter as we is? They probably are a million times smarter than we are. Cause why? You know they smarter than we are? Because guess what? If we was on their level, guess what? We can go and get the wheat and the tares out of the way right now. But we don't know those things, man. They know them. They know the wheat and the tares. They like, no, she ain't gonna make it. She ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. They know the wheat and tares. Guess what? We'll be hoping for the brother. We'll be rooting for the brother to the end. And the angels say, this brother's just not gonna make it.
Brother, straight terror.
That brother's a straight up terror. Sister is a straight up terror like a mug. Got to go.
They smart enough because they ain't order.
Exactly.
The other ones ain't in order. They say the earth called for truth, man. So you don't know one ain't in order. They definitely smart.
For real. Read that out.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 20. Blessed is the man that doeth meditate good things in wisdom.
It said, blessed is the man that doeth meditate good things in wisdom, man. This ain't the hum meditation. That's not, guess what, man? Our God is not one of them, man. What meditating is it talking about? Let's go to Sirach 6, 37, man. See what meditate is talking about, man.
Book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 37. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continue in his commandments.
And meditate continue in his commandments, man. Read.
He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
Because this is how we get, this is the meditation that he wants us to be on, us observing and to doing the commandments, man. He ain't want us to meditate and hum. No. That ain't what the Lord was expecting us to do, man. He expected us to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And I be seeing little snicklets of different little stuff, you know. I see little brothers that's be in the truth, and guess what, man? And I look at myself. Well, okay, I don't, you know, I ain't been partaking in eating meat for a while now, but that don't mean I'm finna go to the house and dum. No, that's crazy as hell. You got to stick with the Lord say, man. Go to Psalm 1, another precept, man. Go to Psalm chapter 1, verse 2. Now, we're going to go with the Lord, man. We're going to lean not to our own understanding, because sometimes brothers, sisters get caught up. They think, and meditation, you're going to dum. No, the Most High God going to kill your ass, too. Better get your hum tail on up. When you before he draw you out of his mouth, man. And guess what? He wet his sword with your butt. Read that out.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And in his law do he meditate.
In his law do he meditate. Then it's going into observing and to do his law, man. All of these going is one and the same. It's not going into somebody want to go in there. You finna go into a trance. You better get your Transylvania looking. You better get yourself in order, man. Don't play with the Most High God, man. Let's go back to Rock chapter 14, man. Some people get caught up in that. Man. Hey, my brother used to say, we would say this all the time. Whoop the blam your butt.
So you ain't trying to be like what's her name, Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff with that movie. No, that ain't the way, sis.
It ain't, man. She went to talking that jibber jabber, and all of a sudden now she would eat Mike. I'm just saying. Read verse 21.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 21. He that considered her ways in his heart shall also have understanding in her secret.
It said, he that considered her. This is talking about the wisdom of the Most High God, keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, man. He said, he that considered her ways in his heart shall have understanding in her secrets, man. That's when the Most High God start opening these doors for you to start. Guess what? You reading your scriptures, you like, dang, that's what that mean. Dang, that's what that mean. Because sometimes we don't, guess what? We don't observe to do these laws, statutes, and commandments, so guess what happened? And brothers be wondering, and sisters be wondering why you can't get it. Because guess what? You ain't trying to do it. You ain't trying to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments in your mind all day long. You ain't trying to, no. Some brothers and sisters, they want to take a break. I want to take a break. There ain't no break, man. We don't.
Go after her as one that traces and lie in wait in her ways.
And so he said, go after her as one trace it, like you tracing somebody's steps, man. And read on and lie and wait for her. This is the same thing that was saying in Songs of Solomon. We're gonna get there in a minute. Read verse 22 and 23 goes straight into the Songs of Solomon. Read that.
He that prayed in at her windows.
He that prayeth in at her windows, read.
Shall also hearken at her doors.
And it's basically going into the same thing. Go to Songs of Solomon chapter 2. It goes into the one and the same thing, man. Songs of Solomon chapter 2. And
Meaning what? You going through the Bible diligently, studying, meditating on these things. That's prying through the windows. Like I said, that's tracing after the steps of wisdom.
Songs of Solomon chapter 2 and verse start with me at verse 9.
It's the book of Songs of Solomon chapter 2 verse 9. My beloved is like a roe or a young hart.
This is like a roe which is going like a deer, gazelle, or a young hart, like a stag, man, like a horse. Read.
Behold, he's standing behind our wall.
This is going into wisdom. Behold, it's standing behind the wall. Read.
He looking forth at the windows.
Showing
himself through the lattice.
And showing himself through the lattice, man, and through the blinds of the curtains, man. This is what we supposed to be. This is how our wisdom look. This is how wisdom supposed to be for us. Guess what? We will be searching, tracing behind that wisdom, looking, meditating, thinking, reverencing those things, man. Yeah.
No.
Supposed to be looking, meditating on those things. These are the things that we supposed to be seeking after, man. When you want to get into breaking down songs of Solomon, a lot of these things where they're going back, these are parables inside parables, man. Give an example on how to love the Most High God. Guess what? These are also parables of understanding that how brothers and sisters can, guess what? Learn how to love their husbands and wives, man. If your husband got a deeper understanding to break these things down, guess what? These things can show you some love. Guess what? You want to see a love novel. This is the most love novel you can read in any book. Songs of Solomon. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 14. Read verse 22 and 23 again.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 14 verse 22. Go after her as one that traced and lie in wait in her ways.
Read.
He that prayed in at her windows shall also hearken at her door.
He said, he that prayed in her windows is going to be hearkening in at her door. You know, hey, well, look, youngster, he praying in at the window. He won't go on the door now. Come on, man. No, because he's reverencing, he tracing, he following behind, he trying to get that, man. He wants that wisdom bad. Read.
He that doeth logic near her house shall also fasten a pin in her wall.
So, and what's that going into? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8.
I was gonna say, let me get that door real quick.
Go ahead, Doc.
Let's get John chapter 10, verse 7. All praise.
Go ahead, though.
It's the book of John, chapter 10, verse 7. Then said Christ unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Read that again, Doc.
Verse 7 from the top. Then said Christ unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
So even when we're going back to how I brought out Songs of Solomon, we knowing that that door is going into what? Basically a parable about Christ. So we know we got to enter it through Christ. Go ahead, Doc.
Go on, read on, Doc.
Verse 8. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers.
Read that again, Doc.
All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers.
Because like Christ said, look, man, this is going into, and y'all know Christ is what? The word of the Most High God. And he said everything that came before me is thieves and robbers, man. They ain't the one, guess what? And you know what thieves and robbers come to do? Kill, steal, and destroy, man. In fact, hold that John right quick. Go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 18. 3 and verse 8, Shalak.
The book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door.
So he said, behold thy works. The Lord is telling us, think about your works. I set before you an open door. Read.
And no man can shut it.
He said, and no man can shut this door. This is how the Lord said with us, man. I'll open this door that I got for y'all. I'll open this door and can't no man shut this door, man. Read.
For thou hast a little strength.
He said, because thou has a little strength. Read.
And has kept my word. And has not denied my name.
So this is how the Lord telling for us. He said, man, I got the door open for y'all. Just don't shut the door. I mean, you can say, man, you don't try to. Because guess what? Some people try to shut that door, man. And how could you shut that door? Stop following God's law, statutes, and commandments. Stop keeping the Sabbath. Stop, hey, sister, stop wearing your dress. Stop covering your head. Don't stop doing all the little things that you don't supposed to do. That's how the door gets shut, man.
That's right. Even like we said, all of these are parables. Forbidding what? Christ to the marriage. Bidding the Israelites to Christ. Like we say, even when you walking crooked in this thing, man, you can't walk crooked through a door. You know, that crooked translates to what? Sin, trials and tribulations that you can't learn to deal with, that you let overtake you. You can't walk through that door, which is Christ. Go ahead, huh?
Come. Let's go back to John chapter 10. Still, we're going to go back to Hebrews in a minute, but we're on John chapter 10. Go back.
It's the book of John, chapter 10, verse 8. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers.
Read.
But the sheep did not hear them.
He said, but the sheep did not hear them, man. Because guess what? The ones that keep God's law, guess what? We didn't hear those thieves and robbers because we didn't want to hear them. We wanted to hear the truth. Read on.
I am the door.
Christ said what?
I am the door.
That's the same thing he's saying in John chapter 14 and verse 6, man. He said he is the door. Matter of fact, just get it right quick and come on back, man. Because you got to hold account of what Christ said. Because when he speaks, that's the Most High God's words coming out, man. Read that out.
It's the book of John chapter 14 verse 6. Yahweh said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Read.
No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
That's the only way we're going to go to the Father, by him. That's why you're not going to sit up and think you're going to walk your butt past Christ. You're going to be walking your butt straight to the lake of fire. Can't play the game. He said, I open the door. Can't no man close this door, man. You ain't got nothing but a little bit of strength, and your strength ain't good enough. Read verse 9. John chapter 10, verse 9.
Book of John chapter 10, verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
He said he is the door. He said if any man enter into him, they shall be saved, man. Read.
And shall go in and out, and find pasture.
And find pasture. Read.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy.
That's all the thief came in to do, was to steal, kill, and destroy, man. Read.
I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
Because this the one. These are the sheep that hear Christ's voice, man. This is what Christ is telling us. This is the sheep that's hearing His voice. All the rest of the people that's coming up in there, they just come in there thinking they just gonna do anything willy nilly. No, you ain't finna do that. Christ ain't finna play the game with you like that, man. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 14.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 25. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 25. He shall pitch his tent nigh unto her, and shall lodge in a lodging where good things are, or good things are.
What good things are, read.
He shall set his children under her shelter.
He said, this is wisdom. This is children. The children of Israel should be setting our children upon the wisdom, man. Upon the God's law, statutes, and the commandment, making sure that, hey, we got making sure that we keep our children in a diligent spirit, man. We don't.
And shall lodge under her branches. By her he shall be covered from heat. And in her glory shall he dwell.
Let's go to Sirach chapter 1 and verse 23.
Book of Sirach chapter 1 verse 23. A patient man will bear for a time.
Read.
And afterward joy shall spring up.
Because this is what we supposed to be making sure that we teaching our children. This is the thing we supposed to be making sure that how we getting ourselves girded up, man. You got to have patience, man. Because a lot of time we get in this walk, we runs out of patience, man. It said a patient man will bear for a time. Bear what? Gonna be long suffering because you got wisdom. Some people don't bear things from time. Guess what? I want it now. I want it right now. That's why it's a pivotal. Even when brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters trying each other. Guess what? Sisters want it right now. Brothers, they want it right now. You got to be patient enough, man. You got to be patient enough, man. Because you need to learn how to bear it for a time. Guess what? Even when you're going into the chastisement of the Most High, you got to bear it for a time.
And guess what? Job gave us the perfect example of that. Bear it for a long time, man.
Perfect example of that, man. Read on up.
He will hide his words for a time.
He will hide his words for this is what the bearing for a time. This is a man that's bearing it for a time. He's hiding his words for a time. This is wisdom. Why he's hiding his word for a time? Hold it. Go to Proverbs 15 and 20. 23. Let's see. Proverbs 15 and 23. This is why he'll bear it for a time.
The book of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 23. A man had joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it?
So that's why he bear it for a time, because he know how to speak words in due season. He ain't speaking out of time. He ain't speaking when it's time. No, he's speaking in season. This is the reason why he can bear it for a time. He holding his words when it's time to speak. So some people, Guess what? They ain't even heard the whole matter, and they just want to blurt out any and every dang on thing and don't know nothing. We got to learn how to speak in season, man. When the right things to say time, when the right thing not to say time. Let's go to go back to Sirach chapter 1.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
He will hide his words for a time.
Guess what? That's in due season. Read.
And the lips of many shall declare his wisdom.
Because guess what? It said the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. Why? Because guess what? He gonna speak it in due season. You ain't got to sit up here and go back and forth on it because we already know it's gonna be spoken in due season, man. And this is what our God is expecting for us to do, man. Last precept, Acts chapter 4, verse 10. This is what our God is expecting us to do, man. Making sure that we stay fast, keeping ourselves grounded in the Most High God, enduring chastisement. Guess what? Long suffering, patience. He was expecting us to do all these things. And when we making sure that we stay grounded, guess what? We ain't got to look no farther. We already know the Most High God got our back, man. Got us 100. And that's what we should be looking for the salvation that's supposed to be coming from the King, man. Read that up.
It's the book of Acts chapter 4, verse 10. Be it known unto y'all
Mm-hmm.
and to all the people of Israel
Read.
that by the name of Christ of Nazareth, whom ye crucified,
Mm-hmm.
whom God raised from the dead,
Read.
even by him doeth this man stand here before you whole.
Because guess what? Even when Christ came back, stood before them whole, man. Read. Because they maimed Christ, man. Read.
This is the stone which was set at night of you builders,
Mm-hmm.
which is become the head of the corner.
Because he become the head of the stone. He's a cornerstone, man. He the one that's going to hold the whole nation together, man. Read.
Neither is there salvation in any other.
Read that again.
Neither is there salvation in any
It
other.
said, neither is there salvation in any other. No other man that you can go through to get salvation but through Christ, man.
You say no Prophet Muhammad, no TD Snakes, no Ricky Gay Rush. I mean, you can't get through these brothers and receive salvation.
Can't.
Only through Christ.
Only through Christ, man. Read.
For there is none other name under heaven given among men,
Mm-hmm.
whereby we must be saved.
Because there's no other person that you can call on, man. Guess what? Where you like you say, no Prophet Muhammad, no none of them. Guess what? Allah, nobody. No. You're gonna have to go through Christ, man. You're gonna have to go through your house shot. You're gonna have to go through him to go get to the Father. You can't go by nobody else. I don't care how long this brother fervent. No. You better see how the disciples that walk with him. Matter of fact, read verse 13.
Verse 13. Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John,
So cause Peter and John's telling them about Christ, man. Read.
and preserved that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled,
Mm-hmm.
and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Christ.
Because they see how bold they talk. They like, dang, these niggas must been with Christ then. Yeah. They was with Christ. They walked hand in hand with Christ. They was right there with him. So the only way that they was able to, guess what, to get that understanding, that's the only way they would get that understanding, by what? Through Christ, man. By the word of the Most High God. That's the only way, because when you read down, you will see how the Sadducees tried to stop Peter and John from teaching about Christ. This is how the book of Acts, the whole book of Acts is the Sadducees and Pharisees trying to go against Peter, Paul, John, Stephen, just trying to, because they want to denounce Christ. Some people were for him, some people wasn't, man. Guess what? Even right down to this day, guess what they trying to do? Denounce his name, man. But guess what? We know through the chastisement, guess what? The Most High God gonna give us that peace, man. That's why we going through these curses that we going through, man. And with that, we're gonna say shalom. Said keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. Let's get that out of Deuteronomy chapter 6. Teaching our children. Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Brothers and sisters watching online, like and share the video, man. Help us push the truth around the four corners of the earth, man. And I know I see brothers and sisters Watch it, man. And y'all, even the ones in the congregation, man, share them videos, man. Let this word get out, man. Share it to your family members, your friends, man. Let them see how the Most High God use brothers, man. Guess what, man? Send brothers videos, man. Guess what? And brothers that's pushing their truth and sincerity, man. Share them videos, man. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
So guess what? We should teach the law, statutes, and commandments to our children, and we should talk with them when we sit in thine house, man. Read.
And when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest up, or liest down.
He said, when you walkest by the way, and when you lie down before you go to bed, read on.
And when thou risest up.
And when you get up. So we can keep, so guess what? So that they can be meditating on the law, statutes, and commandments day and night, man.